Here is a question that might stop you for a second. When someone asks what you need, do you freeze? When someone is genuinely kind to you, does it feel suspicious? When a relationship starts going well, you might find yourself waiting for it to fall apart. And when a warm, consistent, available person actually comes along, they feel almost boring, almost suspicious. The healthy choice feels entirely wrong. This diagram illustrates how these reactions diverge from healthy connection. When closeness triggers discomfort, we typically split into 3 distinct behavioral pathways. The first is anxious attachment, characterized by a constant fear of abandonment, seeking reassurance, and overanalyzing a partner's actions. The second is avoidant, where emotional expression registers as dangerous. This is built on the logic that if you need nothing from anyone, you cannot be disappointed. The third, and often the quietest, is hyper-independence. You treat needing help as a dangerous vulnerability. You handle everything alone, becoming the person everyone else calls in a crisis, while privately feeling completely isolated. Routine disagreements trigger outsized shame, making these patterns feel like embarrassing personal character flaws. They are symptoms of a glitch in your relational operating system. To figure out why this is happening, you look backward into your childhood. You search your history for the traumatic event that broke this system. Instead, you find a vacuum. You find no obvious wound, no explosive trauma, no abuse. You see a regular family, maybe even a good one. The math doesn't seem to add up. You have a perfectly intact past, yet you are operating with a highly dysfunctional present. This discrepancy points us to a specific psychological concept: childhood emotional neglect. Childhood emotional neglect centers on what went missing, the silence where there should have been a response. It's the absence of comfort when you were upset, the feelings that were never asked about, the sigh, the eye roll, or the parent simply turning away when you were visibly struggling. Without a dramatic memory to point to, adults carry this damage completely blind to its origins. They struggle to connect their current relationship failures to the silence of their childhood bedrooms. Put yourself in the position of the child experiencing these everyday micro moments of emotional dismissal. A child's brain lacks the developmental capacity to understand that a caregiver's emotional unavailability is the caregiver's problem. Unable to see the bigger picture, they do the only logical thing available. They filter that lack of comfort through a self-centered survival lens. This feedback loop shows how the brain processes absence. An ignored need bypasses the parental flaw node, hardwiring directly into self-blame. This programs a core belief: something is wrong with me. This sense of being unimportant expands, building the foundational blueprint for all future interactions. This internalized belief does not fade away as a childhood misunderstanding. It serves as the source code that quietly dictates every romantic choice you make right now. The human brain defines its baseline for normal based entirely on early exposure. It is an adaptation machine designed to help a child survive their specific environment. In a neglectful environment, the developing nervous system learns a difficult lesson. It equates emotional distance with safety, because distance is what it understands. Trace this mechanism into the modern dating pool. Your nervous system doesn't choose partners based on who is healthy for you. It unconsciously seeks out emotionally unavailable partners because it knows how to navigate that specific type of pain. This matrix plots relationship categorization. Calibrated to neglect, the brain incorrectly maps toxic traits straight into the safe and familiar quadrant. Conversely, healthy traits are aggressively rejected and plotted into the threat quadrant. A warm partner literally sets off alarm bells. This misalignment causes people to push away good partners out of fear or stay in toxic dynamics simply because they register as home. You aren't choosing painful relationships because you lack intelligence or standards. Your nervous system is executing an outdated survival protocol. Attachment styles and relationship patterns are adaptations. They are not permanent life sentences, and they are not fixed identities. What was learned can be unlearned. The first mechanical step is building an emotional vocabulary to replace the silence of your childhood. Many adults who experience this neglect lack the literal words for their internal states. You start by practicing basic emotion naming, stating out loud, "I feel sad," or "I feel afraid," to slowly rebuild self-awareness. Then comes the most difficult, friction-heavy phase of healing, the practice of tolerating care. Tolerating care means letting someone be kind to you without immediately explaining it away. It means asking for help without apologizing for the burden. It is noticing when you minimize your feelings automatically and choosing not to do it. Finally, understanding the origin of these struggles doesn't instantly fix your relationship, but it replaces paralyzing self-blame with a clear, actionable map forward. You were not born distant, broken, or unable to receive love. You were a child whose emotional world went unseen. Your past sabotaging behaviors were successful childhood survival strategies. The adaptation worked. It got you here. But you no longer need those survival tactics. You don't have to keep surviving in a relationship. You are allowed to actually live in one. That transition starts the moment you decide your internal emotional world is worth paying attention to. Your feelings and needs were never a burden. They are the foundation of true connection.